different shows in the city to prepare a question and feature the corner. They've done that a little bit. So I'm sure there's an awareness. It's just starting.
It's probably happening now, but Sanjay, you and I went to the same school. I don't think we got.
We did that. We went to Mahabalipuram and we didn't have the contest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you had the drawing teacher come in.
We spent all our time moving on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they took us there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's people can get smarter and while in school.
But the other day I was in Bombay about a month and a half ago. I just popped into the Anish Kapoor exhibition, and I was quite surprised. It was probably after lunch, and there were a number of school groups that were there going through it. Okay, fine, the Anish Kapoor thing probably had a lot of hype and publicity and so on. And when I was in Delhi a couple of months ago, someone dragged me kicking and screaming to the NGMA, and I was extremely impressed. I mean, the amount of work they have there is unbelievable. Now, exactly, the question is how does that get packaged, communicated, etc., etc.
People do it. I mean, Buggy does it in our schools. The issue is not so much are there people doing it or not. The issue is how do you scale it?
Right. Yeah.
Right? How do you get to hundreds of millions of people? That's the core question. And again, you use technology. You use television. Television is the single most scalable asset in any country. And put to good use, it can be very powerful.
I'd just like to add that scalability is, I think, happening, but it also needs to work at several levels. Like Nirmala mentioned, it's not just the government's problem, it's also our problem. So while you could say curriculum and pedagogy need to have art and culture more involved, what do we do as parents is also equally important, or how we raise the kids, subliminal messages you're sending out to be successful artist, theatre person, or financial sector hedge fund manager. I mean, all those things add up. At the government level, I have been talking to some people, and there is an interest. I mean, bureaucrats are getting more sensitive and with it. And there is now a serious project going on where they're linking up all the museums, private ones as well as public ones. And there is a huge fund being set up so that they will have audio, what they call audio headsets to explain things in museums and so forth. And the government is trying, but I think it will have to work in several layers, one level of education, one level of just the overall cultural landscape changing in society, and at one level with the government and private public enterprise. So I think if all of this happens over a period of time, you will see those economies of scale kick in, and in the next sort of maybe 15 to 20 years, things would be different at another art summit. Perhaps this question will be dealt with on the quality or the sort of way things are being handled.
In Chennai?
It will happen. It is starting to happen
I think what you said
nationwide.
is important is as parents we can do our job, So my daughter, when she's been told that she's only going to inherit 3 paintings. So now the question is how you do turn this into
How do you pick those 3, right?
Exactly.
What's the
What is the algorithm
So
to
I
pick
told
those
her,
3?
you make it into a learning project. You say, okay, now you have to go around the house, you have to choose the 3 paintings, you have to articulate to me why you chose, and you will get a chance to revise it, but you're only getting the 3 paintings. So, right? And that's another way to send a message of, go look deeply, learn about it, think about it. So, one has to kind of figure out a way to do it, and you have to make it fun and a game out of it, right? It can't be like, I want you to do a theory of the Jamni Roy today. I mean, that's not very interesting for them. But if you tell her you have to choose 3 paintings, and you have to then tell me why you chose these 3 paintings, then you will get a chance to revise it, but maybe only every couple of years. But until then, so even now she comes to the house and she says, Daddy, those are my 3 paintings.
Don't turn the blinds off.
Ashwini had a question she wanted to ask since a long time.
No, it's not a question, it's my
comment.
observation.
Oh, sorry.
It's my observation as an art teacher. A student of mine is doing a survey of art education in schools in Chennai. She's a graphic design specialization student, and she found that there are different boards in Chennai. There is a state board, there is a central board, there is a ICSC, IB, variety of boards are there. But those international boards are the ones who pay a lot of attention to art from a very young age. Whereas higher secondary and many other schools, state board schools, are least interested. They have a time allotted for art, but that is taken over for some other subject.
Bollywood.
Now, whatever it is. Now the thing is, see, we are talking so much at this level. I think we need to start at this level, at the foundation level, where the children are exposed to what is art. How they can explore, the various materials, the process that they go through is very, very important, which never happens in any of the schools. So before they can look, let them first experience what art is, and then, and it should be carried out very systematically in a structured manner in the school so that, they begin to learn to look at the world around them and how that experience or that emotional, quotient helps them in various other subjects also. Is also her findings, which she found.
But it can also be a parent or an uncle. Like you have a favorite teacher who makes sure that you love poetry or you did math. In the same way, it could be an uncle who showed you his collection or took you to the museum. So I think it works at several levels.
No, it starts at the school. If you start in the school, it makes a world of a difference.
Yeah, no, nobody's arguing that, but I'm just saying we shouldn't just leave the responsibility with the school. I think it's multi-dimensional and layered.
It should be an integral part of education.
I think CHENNAI could really use a space that teachers could bring children there, parents could bring children there. Speaking as a parent of a 4-year-old child, we'd like to be able to take our daughter to a place where she could see art, learn about art, maybe take an art class, or maybe just draw. So I don't know if this could be in a gallery or where, but we need a play space like that.